Hey there, Chadi Bazzi here, and welcome to another episode of the Top Listing Agent Show. Today, I bring you an amazing guest, one that you definitely want to pay attention to because she is a real estate agent. She is a coach, and she is an author, someone that is very credible to follow in her footsteps if you absolutely want to build a top agent business. With that said, I bring you Brooke Krebill.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Hey, welcome to the show, Brooke. I know some people might know the name, some people might not know the name. So why don't you tell our audience who you are and how awesome you are and why they should listen?
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. This is really nice. I was just saying it's really nice to be on the other side of the Zoom call this time, where I'm actually not the one doing the coaching and the organizing of the event. It's kind of nice to be on the other side. So yes, I am Brooke Krebill. I am a realtor here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've been in real estate for 11 years. Throughout that 11-year journey, I have been a big believer in coaching. I do not believe that I would be a fraction of where I am in my career, or probably even my life, without the guidance of somebody to say, here's a way to maybe do it better, or to hold me accountable, or that I could trust and go to. So coaching has been a huge part of my life. Real estate has been my vehicle to allow me to pursue all of the dreams that I have. I've built my business on referral and repeat business. And, I feel like our mindset has to be in the right place in order to get us to where we want to go in life. And that's when UnCaged was born, the book I wrote, realizing that I had had a shift in my mindset over a major life event that had happened to me, and went, whoa, there's really something to this, the way we think. So that's a little bit about me. Yeah, just in Grand Rapids, practicing real estate, coaching, which I love. I love bringing out the best in others and just seeing a small fraction of their success, and an author.
I love it. I love it. So there we go. Real estate coach, real estate agent, author of the book UnCaged. So where do we begin? Where do we begin, Brooke? Do we begin by talking about the book and what an impact it could make on somebody? Do we begin talking about mindset? Do we begin? Because I feel like this could turn into a multi-hour conversation, and we're probably going to have to do another episode. So what do you think?
I think that the biggest thing to talk about, I think the most beneficial thing to talk about, is being able to own your story and being able to accept where you are right now and decide who you want to be in order to where you want to go. And so that's really what the book, I'm just going to push this up. This is like a shameless plug, but it's called UnCaged and it's by me. And the reason it's called UnCaged is I had a major life event happen and it was within my real estate career. I had always had a coach. And when I got into real estate, I was a single mom. Well, when I first got into it, I did end up getting married. And in the book, you'll see, I also went through a divorce in real estate. The other thing that happened was because I was a single mom, I actually was raised with amazing parents. And they did not let me do motherhood alone. My mom, who was also a co-parent of mine, was in title. She worked in the title office that was in my office. And she was my constant cheerleader. She was the one to make sure my lights were turned on. She was the one to make sure I had food to feed my kids. She was the one to say, you go get them, girl, when I was on the way to a listing appointment. I would walk into my office every day, say, good morning, Mom. And 5 minutes later, she was back in my office checking on me to see how things were going. It was kind of like our own little secret that I was doing the suffering thing as a single mom, but on the outside, everybody thought I had it together. And she was the only one that really knew. Fast forward a couple of years, my mom gets killed in a car accident. My world is shattered. My co-parent, my co-worker, my cheerleader, everything in my life came to an abrupt halt. And I did not know my own identity without her. I knew I was always going to be safe. I knew that I would always, if my lights couldn't get turned on, I knew I could go to my parents. If I couldn't feed my kids that day, I knew that she would know it because she would find out when she came into my office and she would slip me a 10 to go get them dinner. You know, it was like I knew I was going to be okay. When she was gone, I had to have a wake-up call. Now, I'm in my mid-30s at this point, right? I relied on my mom, I fully admit it, way more than what most 30-some-old adults should rely on their moms for. I get that, but I had to have a wake-up call. And so when the fog lifted about 8 months later, I went, whew, okay, Brooke, your life right now is a mere reflection of what you believe you are worthy of. Your life right now is a mere reflection of the standards that you have set for yourself. You've read the books, you've got the coaching, you've got some good clientele, but why the heck are you not where you want to be in life? And I realized my mom was doing the things that were keeping me afloat. Yeah. And it was time for me to tell myself the same thing that my mom was telling me. Every time I went on a listing appointment after that, it was, you've got this, girl, you can do this. Every time I needed a little bit of motivation, I had to learn how to do that for myself. I had to learn to go, okay, yep, I read that book, read that book, read that book, check, check, check. I did it to check it off a list. Then I had to go back and go, maybe I should try and get something out of these books and actually implement them rather than just do it to say, yeah, read that one too. So I was getting by. I had coaches. I did have a decent real estate business, not what I had after she had passed. I didn't know that I was even capable of having the real estate business that I had until I got my thinking right. And the thinking came from, I got to figure this out from the inside and not rely on an outside source to define my worth. And so that was like the big turning point in my life. And that is really the premise of the book. I will tell you, after that, I ran my real estate business different. I ran my life different. And it's just been really exciting. You know, yes, of course, losing my mom was tragic and awful, and I miss her every day. I mourn her for myself. But as far as becoming the kind of human that I know I'm capable of being, my world had to shatter first. And I had to get really real with myself.
You know, sounds to me like, you know, I mean, first of all, God bless your mother's soul. May she rest in peace, of course. And I can't imagine what that would be, what that would be like. But just listening to your story, you know, you were basically, I'm putting it in my own words, you were like in a cage, and there was someone on the outside that was like feeding you, you know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and, you know, all that good stuff. And all of a sudden, that's gone.
It wasn't like a snap of the fingers. And you'll see in the book, you know, it was kind of funny. We allow these things as we're children, outside sources, right? So even though I came from a beautiful, loving family, we were normal, we fought, we were not perfect by any means, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, all of my problems were because I came from a crummy childhood. That is absolutely not the truth. I'm one of 4 kids. We have our sibling fights, but we all are very close. My dad is amazing. I don't want to, not bring up my dad and only talk about my mom. My dad is an amazing person. Losing our mom and him losing his wife didn't just shatter my world. We had to come together as a family and figure that out, right? So it didn't only affect me. So it wasn't something that happened overnight. But this is what I realized. I started looking back and going, 8th grade, Brooks voted class airhead. All of a sudden, her classmates have defined her as the stupid one. Oh, all right. I guess if that's my reputation, I'll live up to that. Bad grades, didn't care. Partied like crazy. Class airhead again, senior year. Didn't know if I was going to college. Didn't know what I was going to do. By the way, all my siblings are off at college. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with my life. I'm like a little lost soul. I'm allowing everything to define me on the outside world. I'm living this life. I'm telling myself what I deserve. I don't have high standards for myself, clearly. I finally go to college after back and forth, which I know we don't need a college education in order to be successful. I get that. It was my path. Got pregnant my senior year of college. I had every reason to stop. My son was 1 year old at my college graduation. It's like, if there was going to be a path that was the most difficult one, I was like, put me on that one. I almost think I had a fear of success.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have a fear of failure. I felt like I was a failure. That was what was comfortable to me. And if I could find an excuse to be able to say, yep, that's why I failed, I was finding it. Well, yeah, but I'm not smart. Well, yeah, but I have ADHD. Well, yeah, but I can't sit and concentrate. Well, yeah, but I have a child. I can't graduate college. All my yeah buts, all my excuses, if there was going to be a way to find an excuse for me not to succeed at something, I found it. Because if we tell ourselves we're stupid, if we tell ourselves we're going to fail, if we succeed, we're then liars to ourselves. And nobody is going to be a liar to themselves. So whatever you tell yourself that you are worthy of, whatever you tell yourself that you are capable of, you will find that in any path that you look at. It's not until you change what you tell yourself that you see other opportunities.
And I'm loving, like, you can tell, like, I'm just like so glued to this conversation, because I think, starting off on this topic, it's the most important thing. I think this is more important than talking about lead generation and, systems and all that good stuff, because at the end of the day, you're the operator of your business. And if you can't operate yourself, how the heck are you going to operate your business? And I'm writing down words as you're saying. You said, the mirror, your mirror reflection. You said standards. You talked about, not having to go get the motivation from the outside. Like, how do you ignite it, from the inside? And you discovering that, maybe you didn't have a fear of failure. It was a fear of success. I mean, this is like a big self-discovery process that you went through, whether it was on purpose or by default or by life throwing its curveball saying, hey, boom, 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 slap you across the face, wake up. This is life, not a rehearsal for life kind of thing. So I want to talk about this mirror thing. And I have my own things to say about it. But do you ever look yourself in the mirror, Brooke, and speak to yourself? I'm just curious.
Oh, all the time.
What do you say? What did you used to say to yourself back then? And what do you say to yourself right now?
I don't know that I even did it back then. I don't even know that I realized that my thoughts had.
Can I just stop you right there? I'm very good at doing that if you've heard the show. So
I love it.
The reason I want to do that is because you said, I don't even know if I did that way back then. And I think people either do it without even knowing that they're doing it. And number two, they're afraid to even look in the mirror.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And I'll tell you why. What my opinion is of it.
Please.
When you do that, you have to take responsibility for where you
Yes.
are.
Yes. And
that is not an easy thing to do.
Definitely not an easy to do. Now, I was having a conversation with my 12-year-old daughter, about a week ago, because, we've been talking about personal responsibility, thoughts and emotions and all that good stuff. So this is my opportunity to give her some coaching and all this stuff. But
by the way, that doesn't end. Mine are 16 and 18. Yeah. So those are going to be conversations you're going to have for many years to come.
Exactly. And she's like, Dad, like she always says to me, Dad, you're handsome. Dad, you're so courageous. Dad, you're so confident. What she doesn't know is that I'm a shy introvert. Okay, I'm a shy introvert. I wasn't always like this. And she's like, how did you become that way? And I said to her, I look myself in the mirror every single day and I have a conversation with myself. She thought I was weird and wacko and all that stuff. She's like, what do you say to yourself? I go, the first thing I do is I thank myself for being who I am every single day. I look at myself and I say, Chadi, you are so freaking damn awesome. Mm-hmm. Chadi, you're a difference maker. Chadi, you're changing lives every single day. I am so happy to live inside your body.
Yes, speaking my language. I love it.
So, when I do that, and it's not just a conversation that's taking place in my head, sometimes, yes, but when you look yourself straight in the eyes, that's when you really have a different kind of relationship with yourself. And, for our listeners, I want every single person to do that. But for some of you guys, it might be a different kind of conversation. Maybe you need to look yourself in the mirror and just say, I want to begin by letting you know that I forgive you for having me be in this hardship place right now because of some of the things that you did in the past. And I forgive you for that because I trust that this moment is going to be a defining moment for you to where you're going to make some new bold promises and you're going to steer me on a better, more abundant path.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I have these conversations with my coaching clients all the time. I just did a vlog on this. And it is there's a few parts of that I want to address if it's okay.
Please. Yeah, please.
The first thing I want to address on what you said is, we all did not come from an equal playing ground. I get that. I'm going to hear the yeah buts after this. Yeah, but she doesn't understand what it's like to come from where I came from. Yeah, but she doesn't get that. Oh, yeah, but you don't think I know the yeah buts? I was the queen of the yeah buts. Oh, yeah, but you don't get it, right? We do not all have an equal playing ground. I get that. But let me say this. If you're listening and you are an adult, it may not be your fault where you came from, but it is dang sure your responsibility for where you're going. So you have to be able to look at yourself and get real about where you are and do exactly what that is. You got to be able to forgive yourself. You got to be able to say, I did the best I knew how at that time with what I had and the resources at that moment. Now I know better. Now the standard has changed. And there's a line drawn in the sand, and it's it. The yeah buts are done. The excuses have stopped. And the only way to be able to do that is to do just that. Look yourself in the mirror, get real about where you are, and love on yourself.
Let's do a challenge. I want every single person that's watching this video and or listening to this podcast to have this conversation in the mirror. Then I want you to take a picture of yourself in that mirror, and I want you to tag me in it. No, I'm joking. Nobody's gonna.
I love it. Yeah. I'll tell you, and you look in the mirror, and I look in the mirror all the time, right? So we do this thing, and I actually am on Zoom all day, every day now because I'm coaching over Zoom. So one thing I do, and that I've implemented that has helped me, other than just looking at myself in the mirror, and this has become habitual. Like I don't even feel like myself anymore if I don't do this. I have implemented what's called The Miracle Morning. It's a book by Hal Elrod. It's The Miracle Morning. And I have to tell you, it changed my life. And I know that sounds so dramatic. I get it. But it changed my life. And I want to tell you why. What I did was I would wake up, I would go, oh, I'm not a morning person. Oh, snooze, not a morning person. Oh, I'm a night person. I'm a night owl. Okay, well, if I stay up till 1 a.m, of course I have an excuse to hit snooze. I'm going to set myself up for failure, right? Oh, but I only got 4 hours of sleep. Of course I have to sleep in. Okay, well, then get your butt to bed at 10 and get up, right? And this is why I implemented it. I realized that I have spent all day with either my team, my children, coaching, pouring everything I have out. And I would come home or I would sit down and it would be 5 o'clock at night and I am so depleted. I am done. And I realized I was pouring from an empty cup. So when I get up in the morning, I am worthy of filling my cup. I am worthy of having my cup overflowing with self-love, self-care, so that I am my best version before anybody else even says good morning to me, to be able to pour into them and not hold resentment, not hold anger, not feel depleted, and do it because I am overflowing and have so much more to give. So I start my day, I used to call it reading, but then I said, wait a minute, I better start getting something out of these books. If I'm going to actually read them, I better actually start doing something with them. So now I call it study. I read, I journal on what I read. And then, of course, we talk about like affirmations and gratitude. When I am looking in the mirror or when I am talking about what I am grateful for, the first thing I do is I have thought about what I want. And it's not about the do. This is what we talk about, what's the problem in real estate coaching. The problem is in real estate coaching is they're going to teach you the do. The difference in my coaching is you got to know the be first. Who do I need to be in order to do what I need to do in order to have what I desire to have? Okay? Who do I need to be first? That's where the thought comes in. And if you don't know, think of someone who has what you desire. How would they act? How would they dress? How do they treat others? How do they treat their teams? How do they treat their families?
What do they eat? What do they hang out? How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they
That's right.
What do they listen to? Yes.
100%. Who do I need to be? Because we got to be that person first. Because if a coach just says, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to make 100 phone calls today. If your mindset is not right, that phone weighs 3,000 pounds and you are not picking it up.
Can we dive a little bit deeper on that? I got like 2 questions that I want to ask, but I'll ask one before the other, because I love this be, do, have conversation, because I'll tell you, I want to share this real quickly. I think, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but I think it was around 2004, 2005. Okay. I got to spend a entire summer with one of my mentors where I would meet him every single morning at 5 a.m. in front of his office, and we would drive all the way to San Diego, Los Angeles, whatever, to build up his company and, build up the company. And what he would do before he went on any presentation, to do an office presentation, he would grab his sports coat and he would stand in front of the car and he would say, who do I need to be right now to be the man who fill in the blank? And he would fill in the blank. And he did that. Like if we did 3 meetings that day, he would do that before every single meeting. And I got to observe that like hundreds of times just over the course of one summer. And that's when this be, do, have conversation, like literally totally, totally changed my life. Because I was no longer focused on, I need to do 100 calls. I need to, do this and do that. It was all about,
I need to be?
Bingo. So,
look, can I address that too real quick?
Yes.
So we can just bring up one other point.
Yes.
You became who you spent your time around.
That's another major point. You're absolutely.
If you're hanging with losers, you're going to be a loser. If you're going to hang and you want to improve, find a mentor and get in the car with them at 6 a.m.
Yep.
That right there is huge. You become who you are around most. Period. Point blank.
And I love that we're having this conversation right now, and something just came to my mind. And one of the things that my coach is working with me on right now is like, when you hear a voice, when you hear a message, just freaking damn speak it. So to our audience, I just got the idea that I want to mentor one of you for free for 1 year. I want to be your friend 5 days a week for 1 year. So I got the idea of doing a raffle on this. So when you watch this video, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to the YouTube channel, okay? And then look at, watch this video. Again, like the video, comment on the video, buy Brooke's book at least, okay? And then what I will do is at the end of July, anyone that left a comment below this video will go into a raffle. We'll do a live video on it. I'll pick one person out, and that one person is going to get 1 year free mentorship with me 5 days a week. And I'm going to transform the heck out of your life and take you to places you never even knew existed. Brooke, you want to add anything to that?
I love it. And by the way, if you are coached by me, your name better be under there, because I'm going to pick your brain and I want to know everything you know. That is amazing. And by the way, if you want to piggyback on any of this conversation, we'll put together a schedule where you can call me in, and we'll put together a time once a week that we can have a conversation as well.
I would love that. I think that is great. Okay, so we're see, who am I being right now? See, do you see that? Like, who am I being? Number one, I'm going to say this. I'm being courageous. Okay? I'm being courageous to speak what came to me. I don't even think about like, oh my God, you're giving up $15,000, $20,000 or this or that. I'm being generous.
Yes.
Etc. So more on that being conversation, because a lot of people don't get it, because everybody's so caught up on like, I have to wake up at this specific time. I have to, get the kids to school. I have to do this and I have to do that. How do we tap into our being? Like where to begin that process? Okay, so we ask ourselves the question, who do I need to become, or who do I need to be to become the better version of myself? That would be a good question to begin with. And then people are going to write down some words. They're going to be like, oh, well, I need to be confident, okay? Or I need to be energetic, or I need to be connected. Like, they're going to write down these words, but that's where it stops for most people. How do we take that to the next level, Brooke?
So for me, actually, when things really turned around was when I still do real estate coaching myself. I still get it. And of course, I am a real estate coach. Life coaching is what really got my mindset in the right spot. And I've been in a life coaching program where instead of saying I need to be, when you say I get to, I choose to, that brings you from a place of gratitude. And coming from a place of gratitude rather than I have to is a mindset shift. And all of a sudden, when you are grateful, you see things differently. And this is kind of my philosophy on gratitude. This is what I have to say about it. Whether you are a believer in God or energy or the universe, or I don't care what you believe in, okay? That's not what this is about. But if you believe in something, here's my philosophy on gratitude. Until you are grateful for what you have, the universe will look at you and say, you are not ready for more. You don't appreciate what you have right now? You're not ready for more. You can't handle more. You cannot handle it. So that's the first thing I do. Every morning, I'm writing down what I'm grateful for. And guys, if you're having a bad day, do you have a roof over your head? Did the sun come up? Did you sleep in a bed? You're fighting with your spouse? I don't care. Do you have a spouse? Are they alive?
Be grateful you have someone to fight with.
Right. Be grateful you have someone to fight with. Right? Be grateful. And I would say, if you are not feeling gratitude for it at that moment, don't put that down then, because then we don't want to have any resentment in this energy flow that we have of gratitude. And then the next thing I do, instead of writing affirmations and saying, I am a leader, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am healthy, I am a great mother, I'm a great leader, I am an influencer, I write down it this way, and this is in the program, so I didn't make this up, but it helped me so much. I am so happy and grateful now that I am influencing others. I am so happy and grateful now that I am so happy and grateful now that I am so happy and grateful now that. And what that does is it gets me emotionally charged about what it is I want and who I need to be. And when you're emotionally charged in it, that's when the magic happens. So here's the thing. We all have negative thoughts. You're going to look at this and you're going to go, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. Oh, we get it. We get it. We all have negative thoughts. The trick is to choose which one you become emotionally involved in. And I'm going to choose to become emotionally involved in who I am, in what I desire, in leading myself to the life that I choose to live, in coming from a place of love, of choosing joy, of coming from an abundant mindset, not a scarcity mindset. I'm going to choose to get my mind right and emotionally charged in those types of thoughts before my day starts. Because it's that emotion behind it. And you start practicing that, and then all of a sudden, all the negative things, you almost just can go, that's interesting. It's not that I don't see it. It's not that I don't acknowledge it. I just choose not to become emotionally involved in that. Doesn't make you naive. You just choose to be emotionally mature and decide what gets to have an effect on you.
I think if I could put that in 2 words, that's called personal responsibility.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen. And another scary thing is, because it's personal responsibility, it also means you got to do away with the excuses.
Yeah. Yeah. This is I mean, here's the thing. That's what I love about the Top Listing Agent Show, the podcast, is we never know where the conversation is going to go. This could have been about for sale by owners, expires for, repeat referral business. But this is the episode of episodes to speak about. But there's one other thing. Okay. Back to my questions from earlier, like as we dive a little bit deeper, fear. Okay, so there's either the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of this, the fear of that. Everything falls under either the fear of success or the fear of failure. Okay, how do we overcome that fear? I think everybody's got it to some degree. How do we overcome it?
So it depends on if you're a coaching client of mine, of what we would be talking about. And I am a big believer of addressing things head on. Okay. So for instance, I build my business on referral and repeat. And especially talking to new clients, if they choose to do that, they go, I can't call that person. I haven't called that person in 3 years.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I don't know what to do, right? And I said, after my mom's death, I disappeared out of my business for 8 months. Nobody heard from me. It was completely reactive, and thank God I had beautiful people that helped me keep my business alive. When the fog lifted, every phone call I made, I addressed it. Look, I know this is weird hearing from me. I know that you haven't heard from me in about a year, 8 months, whatever it was. I'm going to take responsibility for that. And my commitment from moving forward is you're going to hear from me here. So I take ownership, I address it up front, and then I make my commitment. And that's the standard I set, which means I have to live by it. So I just rip the Band-Aid off and I address it. If you're talking about fear of movement as far as any type of real estate activity or really anything in life, here's what I want to say, and this is what I say to my coaching clients on that. Guys, those who succeed It's not that they're not afraid. It's that they just do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between those who succeed and those who do not at whatever it is that they set out to do is not that the person who does it isn't afraid. It's that the person who does it afraid first until it's not scary anymore. And then they're growing. And then all of a sudden they go, okay, the next thing. Oh, that's a little scary. But I have confidence. I have more confidence now than what I did because I know I was afraid to make those phone calls here. I broke through that. Now I'm not afraid. That's easy now. Okay, now I'm going to break through this barrier. I'm going to do it scared until I'm not scared anymore. So the only thing that can break that fear is one word: activity.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it scared. If you're not acting, though, you got to change that inner voice. You got to strengthen that inner voice.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is that all action is preceded by emotion, and all emotion is preceded by the voice in your head, the thought process.
Absolutely.
So
You let that voice get you. It's excuse. Yeah, but. Stop the voice and do it scared.
Yeah.
Get into activity. But I will also say this. You got to know why you're doing it.
Purpose.
Because motivation is bullcrap. Okay.
I was going to say bullshit. You said
okay, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if I can swear on your show.
Yeah.
Motivation's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah. It does not last. Okay. So I don't know how many times you might even be able to watch this and go, that's it. I'm doing it. Great. Okay. If you don't make a change, this is gone tomorrow. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a seminar, to a conference, and I'm like, I'm going to conquer the world. Yeah. 2 days later, I get back in my old habits. I'm back into my old life. It's gone. So you got to know why you're doing it. If you don't know why you're doing it, you better figure it out. Because if you don't figure it out, going to the bar is going to sound a lot nicer than picking up that phone. Period.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to get you to your goal. So you got to go, look, why am I doing this? I want to give my kids a life that I never had. Why is that important to you?
Going deeper.
Go deeper. Ask it 7 times. Why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? Why? And if you do not get to the point of goosebumps and tears, you have not gotten to your why.
I love
you got to figure it out. And then you got to go, I'm going there. Because if you don't figure it out that strong, that phone is going to weigh 3,000 pounds. You're not going to pick it up. And any outside factor that can pull you away to make an excuse not to make the phone call, you're out. You're gone. I tell my real estate clients this too. Look, guys, you're practicing here. You're building a muscle. I don't expect perfection, but you need to have more days of production than you do excuses.
Yeah.
That's it. Get rid of the excuses.
I love this. My goodness, it's been like nugget after nugget after nugget. I'm going to give you 2 more questions and we're done. Okay?
All right.
So the first question is, I get your book. Okay, I listen to you. I love what Brooke is saying. She got my attention. All right, I'm going to get the book. I get different people will have a different takeaway. What do you think would have been the most common takeaway for the people who have read your book?
Yeah, so there's action steps in there. So the book is written in real life stories of things that have really been things that have changed me, and the action steps on how to get through that. And the purpose of the book is to say to everybody, you're not the only one that is telling yourself a really ugly story.
So, okay, I think we're getting on to something that I wrote a note on earlier, but I never went to. So we are a product of the story we've been telling ourselves. Mm-hmm. Is your book going to help me write a new story?
Yes, that's exactly what it's going to do.
So
And that is exactly the purpose. It is to say, hey, look, I see you here. I see you. I see you. I feel you. I know you. I see you. This is what helped me, and I'm going to challenge you to implement it. So every chapter has a takeaway of exactly where nobody is going to go, oh, yay, Brooke, yep, get it. You felt caged. You felt like a lion in the cage. You couldn't break free. Your mom died. All of a sudden you figured it out. No, it is, this is how I felt. This is what the story I told myself of how it affected my life. And this is what changed when I changed my story. And here are some action steps for you to do it. Most people say they have read it in 1 or 2 sittings. It's a very quick read, and it's done purposefully. Everything I do this in my coaching too. I will lecture, I will give you the nuggets, but you're not going to get anything out of it until you do the actual action steps.
Right.
The purpose of the book is not for you to know all about me. The purpose of the book is to implement it to you, apply, change your own inner story, and change your life.
I love it. I love it. So make sure, how do people get a copy of the book? Well, where's the best place to go? Amazon?
Amazon, yeah, it's called UnCaged. It's UnCaged, Break Free by Changing Your Inner Story, right? That's Break Free by Changing Your Inner Story. Brooke Krebill, it's brookekrebill.com. It's I'm sure we'll have that written around here somewhere. brookekrebill.com.
Yeah, but somebody's driving right now and they might not go, check the show notes. Can you spell it out so they can?
You bet.
I want them to go there. So
it's Brooke, BROOKE, Krebill, KREB as in boy, ILL.com. You can download the workbook, you can order the book, you can leave a review, you can check out everything right there.
Awesome. So that would be, and we will include it in the show notes so people can access that. And now the final question. Is there a question that you feel like I should have asked you that I did not ask you that I need to ask you?
Yeah, I think the one thing I want to say is the big thing about what changed me was when I was able to look in the mirror and take responsibility for where I was and stop with the excuses. And the reason I bring that up is because once I stopped doing that very consciously, my business grew. My relationships strengthened. I no longer put up with any bullshit, now that I know we can say that. So
you can say whatever you want.
To set healthy boundaries, and I knew my worth. The reason it strengthened my relationships is this. I've been really vulnerable already, even on this with this audience, right? What I have learned, and the reason that I do it, the reason I wrote the book, the reason I pour into my clients, and the reason that I love real estate is this. If I am not vulnerable with you, if I am not able to celebrate my successes, if I am not able to tell you about my failures, if I am not able to give you me, the raw me, I am not giving you permission to do that with me. Meaning, you are moving homes. You realtors out here, I want you to hear this. Every time somebody moves, it is because of a life change. It is because of a divorce, a marriage, kids, empty nester, new job, loss of job, getting relocated, whatever it is. No matter how big or small they make it to you, it is a life change. And they are inviting you into that very vulnerable moment of their life. If you look at it as transactional, good luck getting their referrals and repeat business. But if you realize this is a life change and I'm giving you permission to be vulnerable with me, and by doing so, I'm going to sit with you, I'm going to look at you, I'm going to say, I get it, I understand, I see you. That will change your business, it will change your relationships. Most importantly, it will change your relationship with yourself.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I love it. Brooke, this has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
for being on the show. Everyone, visit Brooke Krebill.
Krebill. Let's do Krebill though, because then you might get the spelling right. Brooke Krebill.
Yeah, see the way I read it and the way it sounds like.
I know. I've been through that my whole life. I get it. Yeah.
So Brooke Krebill, BrookeKrebill.com. Buy the book, read the book, look for the video on my YouTube channel. Just simply go to Chadi Bazzi.tv, and that will take you to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment right below this video. We're going to do a raffle. I know earlier I said we will do the raffle at the end of July. We're going to move that right now till the end of August. The reason being, we're recording this like probably about 20, 30 days before it airs. And I want to give everyone the opportunity.
Am I able to get in that raffle? Because I really want that mentorship.
Absolutely. You, your coaching clients, even my coaching clients, if you're currently paying clients.
This is so awesome. Maybe we turn it into a group thing or something. I don't know. I love it.
I think this is really the beginning of a relationship. And we will definitely do some good stuff for a lot of people. So with that said, Brooke, I appreciate you taking the time out this evening to be here with us. And I look forward to bringing you on again, because we need to have a part number 2 on this, to where we dive into, like today we dived mostly into you, the listener. And then next time we're going to dive into your business and work with you on your business. So
I love it. It was an absolute pleasure. You're a joy. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
All right.